Welcome back to another episode of Heal Inside and Out, Real and Raw in Breast Cancer. And today's going to be one of, I would say, I want to say a very interesting topic that Maggie and I both have challenges with. And it's allowing love and support in as we are going through this journey, or even beyond this journey, as we are always ongoing with our healing. And I would just love our audience to know, Maggie, what kind of love and support that you had that actually gave you some challenges that you were faced with?
Well, it's a great question. And for me, it was more of the love and support that I didn't really know what I needed. So people were just giving whatever support they knew how to give. And so there was almost like this disconnect, right? So for me, I had to take a step back and identify what did I need. And I wasn't good at asking for help. So my core challenge was really figuring out, okay, how do I take a step back and think honestly about what do I need from others? That was like a foreign question to me.
Yeah, no, I know. I was the same way.
Yeah, so it's like I had this canned, prepared answer of when people would say, how can I help? Or what do you need? I would say, I'm good. Thank you, though. And it would just head that off at the pass, so I didn't have to have the conversations. However, I knew I needed the support deep down. So I knew I had to get over that and figure that out in order to really break that disconnect and get meaningful support. So for me, people wanted to help. And I was doing them a disservice by not allowing it, and doing myself a disservice by not figuring out what it looked like. And so, you think about when people just want to help, they're sending you, maybe you're getting your 7th pan of lasagna, or your 5th coloring book, or your 10th candle, or 100th blanket, which they're all wonderful gifts in and of themselves, but you don't need so many of them, right?
Exactly.
So I just really struggled to stop and think, what brings me comfort? What does meaningful support look like now, so that I can share that with my network and allow it, receive it, and even appreciate it. What about you, my dear?
Well, you mentioned lasagna, so I'm going to go that way for a minute.
I'm hungry.
and the reason I bring that up is because, people wanted to make certain dishes that I liked, and lasagna is one of them. And, going through the chemo, there were things that just made me nauseous. Certain foods, really, I hate to say it like this, but I ended up vomiting because of the smell of it. So whether there was something in my stomach or not, I was just like, oh boy, here it comes up again, but it was not being able to feel that. I want to say, do I feel bad for this person because I'm going to tell them I don't want the lasagna, or am I going to hurt their feelings? Here they are, they're making this beautiful dish for me, my husband, and my daughter. And it was just like, oh no, if I see one more tray of something, I'm going to throw it out the window.
That's a good example too. Yeah.
Yeah. But for me, one of my biggest challenges, because we are very similar in a lot of ways, is really accepting the support and the love. And I said, I'm fine. Every 5 seconds, I was like, no, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. We're good. I'm fine. I'm fine a lot. And I really felt like I would lose my identity if I allowed the support and love in. Because my identity, since I was little, is a caregiver. And, once again, 30 years of nursing, EMT, the coach, it was just like, no, nobody's supposed to take care of me but me. I'm not, forget about me at this. It's all about you. I still need to take care of you. I still need to, whatever it was.
Forget about
And
it.
forget about it. Yeah. And it was difficult. It was truly difficult for me. And, my husband was kind of the same way. And so was my youngest daughter, because she was home at the time. It's like, nope, we're fine. And I'm like, are we? Are we really fine? Let's stop and think about this for a second, and that was really, really hard for me.
Wow. Well, so yeah, we have very similar challenges. When you look at the support then you were able to start receiving, what was the most valuable kind of support you got?
I have 3 major support system events that happened to me, however you want to put it. One was my sister came to my chemo treatments every Wednesday, and she lived in New Jersey and I lived on Long Island. And she said to me, I'm not taking no for an answer. This is what I'm doing. End of conversation. So she would come early Wednesday morning, like she'd leave her house at 5 a.m. and get to Long Island in an hour and a half, and we'd have breakfast, and then we go to treatment. And then she would stay for dinner and leave after dinner. Maybe once or twice out of that whole time she slept over. My youngest daughter she had done college in 3 years and was going off to law school, but she decided to take off a year. So she was home with us, which was nice because she lived out of the house for 3 years. Now she's back. So she, really helped and guide and support me for that year. One of the hardest ones really was my oldest daughter was in St. Kitts in the Caribbean in veterinarian school. And we used the app called WhatsApp, and we videoed each other every single day.
Oh, I love that.
So she actually watched my journey through WhatsApp, to be honest with you. And whenever she could come home, she did. And, there was times I was, bald, sitting, having my chemo drugs through my port. And there we are on the phone, video, and just talking to each other. So that was the 3 major things that helped me with the love and the support and accept that,
I love that the video allowed your daughter to be a part of, even though she wasn't home, to see and witness, and you bringing her in that way was awesome.
Yes. And for you, Maggie, what was it for you?
For me, because I was I've never been really good at self-care, and I'm now for the first time trying to figure out what that looks like while not feeling so good and navigating this. The number one was those closest to me really knew that about me and helped me figure it out without my asking. They were helping me figure it out. So for example, my husband, he knew I wouldn't take the time to go up and maybe take a bubble bath. So he'd draw a bubble bath, set up candles and my favorite music, and then go downstairs and watch TV and just say, you just chill for 2 hours or whatever. Right. Or my daughter would just come over and this is what we're going to do tonight. Cause usually I'd be like, okay, I'm going to come to you. What do you need? What do you want? And even Marla, who you'll meet soon, who I worked with, was just like, she knew that. So she would push through that part and just help me take care of me. So that was a huge thing I relied on to help me start to get good at receiving it, allowing it and receiving it. And the other thing I loved is when I got packages from people I didn't even know, from states I didn't even know I knew, it was that those surprise things were very, very, fun. And I really enjoyed that, but I loved the cards because I put every card I got in a basket. I still have it. But what I would do is when I needed a pick-me-up, Or even if I needed to cry, I would just
Right.
grab that basket and sit down and pull out cards and just go through them. And it was another reminder of all the love and support that was helping me.
Mm.
So those were a couple of my really, and I have a fun story about one of my favorite specific support times. And a dear friend of mine, Mary, I remember where I was laying on the couch, no energy. It was like one of my day 6 after chemo.
Yes.
And she called me and she was like, "What do you need?" And I'm like, my canned answer, "I'm good, but thanks for offering." She said, no, she said, "I'm going to drop something off. So tell me what you need." And I said, "I don't need anything." She said, "Are you hungry?" I said, "No." She said, "Are you thirsty?" I'm like, "Well, okay. Yeah, I'm thirsty." She said, "Okay, I'm going to bring you something. What do you like?" "Oh, I don't know. I like water right now."
Yeah.
So
right?
she was like, "Okay, you're obviously not going to help me with this." So she said, "I'm going to drop something off." So she, 20 minutes later, rang my doorbell and left. And on my doorstep was 5 different Starbucks drinks.
Oh my goodness.
And she texted me and said, "Try it, see what you like, and hopefully there's something in there that you'll enjoy." And it just so happens that I think it was a dragon fruit something. I don't remember the name of it, but it became like my favorite drink. As I was also drinking some icky Chinese tea that would help me get it down. So when I was out of it, my husband was in the car on his way to Starbucks to get more.
Yeah, I believe it's called a dragon fruit refresher.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. And you could even add like coconut milk to it. So there's all these different things you could do with it. And I loved it.
Oh, that's great. See, she didn't take no for an answer.
No, I love that she did not like just accept my answer because she knew me well. She just pushed through it and delivered that. So that was kind of fun. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love things like that.
Yeah.
So what might be something that you did, what maybe tool that you used to figure this all out, to be honest with you? Because that's what we have to do. We have to figure out what kind of love and support we want.
Yeah, it's recognizing where we're challenged, right? And then how do we navigate that? And for me, I was a journaler, but I wasn't a big journaler. I had to hit my journal and just sit with the question, what does meaningful support look like right now? What does comfort look and feel and sound and smell like right now? And really just start to ask myself that question over and over again, because again, it changes. It changes throughout your days, your weeks, your months, your treatments, all of that influence it. So I created a tool that it helped me to repeatedly go back to that question and think through it and capture those things so that I could share that with my support network and help them help me, or even share it with my husband to share with people who are asking. And so that tool became my go-to to really help navigate, okay, what does meaningful support look like this week, so I can answer the question.
Yes. Oh.
How about you?
I didn't have truly a tool that I created, so to speak, but some of the tools that I use is really all about self-awareness. And what I mean by that is, taking a step back and looking at and discussing with my husband and my daughter, what do we need? Because I always included them too. Yes, I know what I needed and learned to know what I needed. But because there's 3 of us in the house, because a lot of the love and support that we got was food, can we do laundry? Can we take you somewhere? Can we buy you something? Can we, pick you up and just take you outside for a little while? Those kinds of things. And it was all about self-awareness and being able to let go of that fear that I was going to lose my identity. So I did breathing techniques when that anxiety and fear started to arise. I would just say positive affirmations and say, okay, let so-and-so help you today. You know they're going to ask, what do you need today? And just tell them. And be okay with telling them instead of saying, I'm fine.
Well, and what I just pictured, Dina, is just tell them, and then maybe go back to your breathing techniques, even if it meant breathing in the bag, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would be driving to work some days going, and if you looked at me, if you were driving next to me, here I am talking to myself with the steering wheel in my hand going, just let them help you today. Just let them help you, whatever it looks like. And if you know exactly what you want today, just tell them.
I love that because, like you say, the positive affirmations, but it almost too becomes like a fake it till you make it, right? It's like, tell yourself it's a good thing until you believe it's a good thing.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I agree with that. But I also believe that we don't love on ourselves enough. So those positive affirmations is really looking in the mirror and saying, well, yeah, you are beautiful. Yes, I need this today. I'm going to ask because I'm strong today. And, let go of whatever worries that you have that somebody might say or do as well.
I love that. So you like the breathing techniques and the reminding yourself through affirmations and that positive, the self reminders and that sort of thing. And I've also heard you talk a little bit about meditation. I think that was one of your...
Yes, I'm not a huge meditator where I could sit for 20 minutes to a half hour to 45 minutes, but just 5 simple minutes throughout my day helped me get through a lot.
Well, and I love that because it isn't about, there's not a right or wrong way to meditate, right? So it only takes a few minutes sometimes, and it's more about sitting with yourself in quiet and listening.
Yes.
So are there any quick tips for our listeners you'd like to leave them with?
I would say, I love the fact that you journal, but even if you have a running list, I just thought of this as we were speaking. If you have a running list of the things that you want or need, just keep a running list of it. And if somebody asks, refer to that list. Say, oh, can you pick me up eggs, milk, and cheese today? Or what, just, whatever that might be, whatever it is. And remember that everybody is so different. Like today, one need might not be the same need that you have 2 days from now. Everything's ongoing. Everything's changing. Everything's evolving. But I would say a good tip would be keep a running list of your wants and needs.
I love that. And I would say, and I've heard you say this before too, Dina, that when we think about embracing what's coming to us for love and support, in some cases, it's going to come from unexpected places. And in some cases, it's not going to come from where we expected it. And I've heard you talk about that with some specific examples. And so I think a tip that I want to share is making sure that you just open up to receive it where it's coming from, and engage the trusted people that are showing up for you and are helping you most to help you help the others, because you don't have to do it alone. Exactly.
And we can go on and on and on. So that's going to be another episode. I see it now.
I love it.
But in the meantime, this is how we're going to end today, and allowing the love and the support in for whatever that looks like for you. So till our next conversation, thank you, Maggie, once again.
Thank you, Dina.
Thank you for joining us. We hope you found value in today's episode.
And remember to share your real and raw insights with us by going to healinsideandout.com, where you can also find additional information and resources.